Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, I'm gonna talk about teachers today, so bear with me. This isn't gonna be some like preachy, let the state do whatever they want to your kids thing. So, you know, hear me out. Starting off though, I've always wanted to be a teacher. When I was little, that was my dream job. I just like watching that light bulb moment go off for people. It feels good for me to watch somebody learn. But as I got older, I started to notice how my peer group treated their teachers, not to mention like the abysmal pay a lot of our public school teachers get. Also, the fact that I couldn't afford college, so it kind of went away for me. I didn't really bother keeping up with that. With a lot of the jobs that I've had, though, I've been able to train new hires, and it's not the same thing as teaching literature, but it's still teaching people. It still gives me that, it still scratches the itch for me, so to speak. Now, with all that in mind, I'd like to tell you a story about one of my teachers from when I was in school. Something I think kind of connects with everything we've seen in the news lately about, like the laws being passed about what teachers are allowed to talk about in schools and, the bill in Florida and all that. So, when I first moved to South Carolina, I was in second grade. My oldest brother was in fifth grade, and he had a teacher named Miss Brewer, and he loved Miss Brewer. You know, she was a really good teacher. He always came home and was really excited to talk about everything he learned, and I was excited to have her as my teacher because, with how small our school was, there's pretty much no way I wasn't going to get her as my teacher. And I mean, she seems like she's really fun to learn with, so I was excited. So 3 years pass, and my fifth grade teacher, I get my schedule, and her name was Mrs. Henderson, and I was bummed out by that. 'Cause I was like, oh, it's not the same lady. I won't get Miss Brewer. But then I show up to class, and it is her. It is the exact same woman, and I was confused. I was like, what? Why is your name different? And she said, oh, I got married. She's like, yeah, I am Miss Brewer, but now I'm Mrs. Henderson. I got married. And I was really confused. I might have heard Mrs. before, but never paid that much attention to it. Like growing up in the South, every older woman you meet is ma, mom, or miss whatever. There is no misses when you're a kid in the South. So yeah, and she was very blunt about what happened. I got married. I took my husband's last name, so now my name is Mrs. Henderson. And then, like, she even wrote on the board, like, wrote out Miss, the abbreviation, Mrs. She, like, explained a little bit about why that happens, but that was it. I asked a question, she answered it. With the laws that are being passed, with some of the statutes that are getting put over schools, she would have been fired for that because she answered a student's question. And sure, it's not a school question. It's not a English or a literature or a math question. It's a social question. It's a life question. But what's the harm in answering a question like that? You know, it's something that we experience in the world every day. What are teachers supposed to be for if not to teach kids about the world? I think a lot of people are too focused on test numbers, as that's what these kids are supposed to be going to school to learn about. It's all just this like machine to pump out workers or executive positions or whatever you want, but schools are just supposed to be for learning. You learn about a lot there, including the world around you. Yeah, sure, my mom could have probably explained to me the difference between Miss and Mrs., but I never noticed it around my mom. I only noticed it with my teacher. And I asked her a question, and it was personal, and she answered it. If we're going to have our teachers walk around eggshells around their students because they're afraid to talk about their life, because you have a problem with a teacher being a human, homeschool your kids. Send them to like robot learning or something because you don't want your kids taught by humans. You just want them to get data. I can't stand for that. our teachers are people, and we should allow them to be people. But you know, that's just me. You know, I want our teachers to get paid more. I want our teachers to have a lot more freedom in the classroom to teach students individually. But until we get good enough funding for that, I don't know how that's going to work. But I don't know. Until next time, y'all try to have a good day.